Literally, I've done this so many times, I'll be done in 5 minutes. And you're gonna walk around the house and do all those things you're looking at. Okay, what's the paint? What's the floor? Does anything need to be repaired? Do the bedrooms have a closet? Are there bathrooms? You're looking for really basic things, right? Popcorn on the ceiling, things like that. Then you can sit back down and have another conversation. By the way, we'll have a chance for you to walk me through the home so you can point out all the features that will help sell it. So you have an either or there when you get to that point in the conversation. And the only thing you're going to take with you, as they point out in here, is the home seller checklist. So I made my own. You can use that one. It just depends again on how you work. But you want to take notes as you're going through. Carpet in bedroom 1, hardwood floors in bedroom 2, popcorn on all the ceilings, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, master's remodel, blah, blah, blah. You're making notes as you go through the house on that checklist to look at it as a buyer would look at it, right? And then when you're done with all that, you have to get to your listing presentation. So now you're going to be talking about on page 25. This is where you will convince sellers to list with you. It's your opportunity to explain the reasons why they should hire and list their home with you and to recommend a price. So at the listing appointment, you will create a great impression, share your price recommendation, and set expectations. Okay. So I've already contradicted this the whole time that we've been doing Ignite, right? You get one chance to make a great impression and build the seller's confidence about real estate, and you're doing that. You're doing things like, hey, Boyd's different Keller Williams, it's 3 o'clock, we have a 3 o'clock appointment. You're on time. You're already better than 85% of the realtors that are out there, right? So you actually point that out, because that'll be important if they have other appointments and they're running 20 minutes late. How important is that business? You were on time, your competition was 20 minutes late. It may not seem like a lot, but you know the sellers are going to process that information and go, well, if they're late 20 minutes for the most important meeting, what's the transaction going to be like after that? Sharing your price recommendation, the initial price for the property once it's designed to get the home sold. I can't reinforce this enough. You're not going to give a price. You're going to ask them what they think their home is worth. You're going to go through the CMA. You're going to go through the comps because you want them to get the value. And you've asked them already in the pre-qual, what do you think your home is worth? Right? So you can start asking why they think it's worth that much, so on and so forth. But you'll have an idea at least when you show up. Now you can mirror and match that with comps to help persuade them. And if you've done your job, they will give you the price that you want. Unless they're just being, they may even agree with you. Yeah, well, all these houses, yeah, you're right. I mean, we probably should list, we really want 775, but I can see everybody's listed at 749. So, you know what, can we try 775? Sure. You want to try 775? I'll tell you what. I'll do 2 open houses at 775. If you'll agree that if we don't get any offers, that we drop the price immediately to 750. And just remember that when we're looking at our pricing strategy, we don't want to chase the market down. We want to try and chase the market up. So I'm comfortable doing that, but just realize that we may be chasing the market down and not getting the maximum home's value if we're priced a little bit higher. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we'll sign that. And you write it into the listing. We will reduce the price after 2 weeks. And we'll reduce it to this price. Now it's in writing. It's contract, so it's in writing. Much harder to get if you don't have that conversation up front. What happens if your home doesn't sell in 30 days? What are you talking about? The market's on fire. Everybody's buying. Well, they may not buy your house if you don't have it priced correctly. And then setting expectations for how you will market and work with the home and the sellers. This is another value add proposition for what you do. So I do pre-listing walks, I do the on-market walks, I do post-market walks. We'll do photography. We're syndicated in 155 different websites. My LinkedIn reach is global. from my 25 years in global corporate world. So is my Facebook, in addition to all the Keller Williams sites that go global as well. It translates into several different languages. And if you're part of luxury now, you've got some more branding you can do with the luxury stuff. So providing that value and then setting expectations. We're going to do this at this time. Get a calendar together, tell them what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Questions? Yes.
What kind of contract you're saying that have them writing down the drop in the price or 2 weeks later?
It's in the listing presentation. It's in the listing contract. The residential. It's the RLA, exclusive RLA, residential listing agreement, exclusive. And in there it talks about reducing price. You can. It's the verbiage is in there. You just need to fill it out. But the average realtor who sells 4 to 10 homes a year and doesn't sharpen the saw, and doesn't understand how to objection handle, and doesn't understand what the market's doing because they do it part-time, it may go off what the seller says, and now you get stuck. Crap. We're listed at $799. Nothing in this area has sold over $749 in the last year. And now you've got to have an awkward conversation about why they need to drop the price at least 50 grand just to get to the highest sold comp in the area. And everything else is listed at 7.25. That's a bad conversation to have 1 month into your listing. You've set all these expectations and now you fail on the price expectation and providing feedback. So set it up front. And again, that goes back to what happens if your home doesn't sell in 30 days? Are you willing to reduce the price? So on and so forth. I don't know what the market's going to take 30 days to get your house on the market. Hell, I don't know what's going to happen in 30 days. The Fed may raise the interest rate 2% and we're screwed. Right? The bottom may fall out. The tech bubble, which isn't, right? The .com is going to burst. Nobody knew that. Right? Nobody's hedging against mortgages and the B paper and all that kind of stuff. So have the conversations up front. My goodness, it will save you gajillions of time. The way I dated at 48 years old versus the way I dated at 28 years old. At 28 years old, it was shooting fish in a barrel, right? It was like, oh my God, who's paying attention to me? I'm going to go out with them. At 48, it was a very concise and quick conversation. What do you like? What do you don't like? Why did your last relationship fail? Here's 3 things about me that I would change. Here's 5 things that I'm not changing. Right? I didn't have time to go through I didn't want to do all that garbage. So guess what? I became very purposeful in what I was doing. And I had all the conversations up front. Because I didn't want to date Catherine for a month only to find out that she's got 4 long-haired cats and a gerbil, and I hate long-haired cats. Right? So it's like, why am I bothering with all that time if she's got something that I just can't do? A little bit of dating advice as well for those of you that are single. So, but again, it's setting that expectation, right? If you set the expectations with your sellers up front, there's no surprise in the background. That's the moral of the dating story. Okay, when it's time to go on your listing appointment, you're going to give the customer the version without your notes. Oh my gosh. Don't take your pre-qualifying list and hand them the notes that you made. Number 1, it's probably chicken scratch. And number 2, there might be things in there that you don't want them to read, like, they were pretty standoffish or something along those lines. So, and good Lord, know your scripts. Don't try and memorize what you want to say and then try and go regurgitate it, right? We've talked about this. If you're practicing in front of your customers, then for all practical purposes, you're preparing to fail. A failure to prepare is preparing to fail. So know what you're talking about. Look for the objection handlers that you would deal with. Price, condition are 2 of the biggest, right? You can't change the other stuff. So how do you work around that? Okay, you ready for the actual listing presentation? Everybody got any questions yet so far? Okay, you can actually use the copy that's in here. I believe this is also in Connect. The entire listing presentation, 42 pages, has been included in the trading module to go through page by page. Participants were asked in their pre-work mission to bring a copy of this. They can use this copy to make notes and review each page and explain its purpose. The main goal is to have you guys learn how to do and practice your presentation. So, how many of you actually printed something out and made some notes? Okay, perfect. So we'll walk through this at a more rapid fire pace. And again, on page 27, this is what starts the listing presentation. So I'm going to blaze through these. Know that this is your starting point and that you customize from here as you go forward to fit you. There's also Michael Lewis. There's also Diana Kokoska, and Bold has a whole nother presentation. But start basic, and you don't have to spend 2 weeks doing this. Your clients aren't going to know that big of a difference, so just have the basics in place. So a guide to selling your home, you're obviously going to have your client's information on that front page, so personalize it. In prep, confirming appointment times, showing up on time, have business cards. Don't have a business card. These people are going to have friends. Have business cards. Here's several cards, because if you like what I'm doing, I'd love to get a referral from your family and friends or coworkers. Make sense?
Yep.
Oh, there's that whole word again. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to sell your home, to list with me. Hey, did you have a chance to go over that information that we talked about? No? Okay, not a big deal. Let's just start from square one. Page 29, the goals for today. Discuss your motivation for selling. Define your 10+ experience. Review what you can from Keller Williams and me. Explain the selling process all the way through. Review the 3 factors that get your home sold and decide to work together. As new agents, it may not be comfortable to not work with everybody. As your experience grows and your transactions grow, there are some people that you can just say, you know what, I don't think this is going to work. I have somebody I can recommend to you, but I don't think I'm the right person for the job. And you can walk away. You can actually do that. If you're brand new to the business and you're looking for every transaction you can get, chances are you can't be that liberal with what's going on. So yeah, you're going to have to put up with some people and do some things that you may not want to do. But guess what? I will guarantee you. The really difficult clients will help educate you so much more quickly on what's going on in the process. Because the ones that are easy are just like, hey, can you sign this? Yeah. Okay, we need to do, okay. Can you pay? Yeah. And it's done, right? It's like, oh, that's, whew, what happened there? It's the ones that get the report back and they're like, well, there's bed bugs. What do we do now? What? Bed bugs. Well, there's not a bed bug requirement for selling a home, only for leasing a home. So if you think there's bed bugs, you're going to have to pay for an inspection to do the bed bugs. And God knows where they came from. They could have come from your mattresses in the move. They could have come from the moving truck. They could have come from a billion places. So understanding all that's good to know, right? And the motivation for selling for me is also a big one, right? If they're relocating, a whole different story than, well, whenever we sell it, we're going to move, right? Different level of expectation and priority from your sellers. Page 30, uncover and prioritize the seller's needs. Skipping over the listing, ask them about their wants and needs, listen to their answers. I've said this a bunch of times. Hear a need, fill a need. It's especially prevalent when you're going through the selling process because they'll uncover what we call a black swan or that hidden gem where, oh, I didn't even think about that. I can make a note and exceed their expectations in this capacity. So ask lots of questions. There's a reason you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? It's so that you can hear it. And don't assume that they know something. Buyers and or sellers, when I walk them through the process, You'd be surprised at how many don't know what escrow is. So you need to be able to explain how escrow works and what it does for the transaction. Why am I doing pre-inspections? Why do you want me to do a pest and a roof inspection? You better have answers to those kinds of things, right? So, but listen to them as you're giving that feedback, because they may have concerns about something that you think is pretty nonchalant, right? It's like, I do this with all my transactions, we have to do it, but somebody may not understand it because they bought the house in '65 and now they're selling it in 2019. And they have no clue, they've never sold a house. So, I don't want to say talk to them like they're kids, but relay the message in their terms so they know. And ask questions. Do you understand what's happening there? Do you understand what escrow really means and how that works? Okay. Next. Page 31, it's all about you. Why you're moving. Do you need to sell within a certain time frame? Do you have a price in mind that the home will sell for? Are you staying in the area after the home sells? Why is it important to know if they're staying in the area after the home sells? Because what? Oh my God, you need to buy a house? You're downsizing and just moving from Livermore to Livermore? Are you working with an agent to find a house? Oh, I would be happy to help you with that. Right? Why else? I'm going to move to Colorado after I sell this house. Why is that important?
If they need to sell before they have to move.
Okay. What else? From my greedy standpoint, why do I want to know? Oh my God! Woo! Cake pop! I haven't been doing cake pops.
You already owe me 3.
Yeah, but you were late, so I'm taking 2 back.
For a very good reason.
Okay. All right, cake pop. My wife she makes these.
Oh, they're individually wrapped.
Oh, they're really freaking good too.
Oh my God.
Okay. Will this help with interaction?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cake pops? I had one last night. I think they're chocolate with. They're really good. That's all I can tell you. Okay. Okay, so I got way offline here with cake pops. The referral fee, right? You're moving to Colorado. Have you contacted an agent to help you find a home in Colorado? No? I have a network of like-minded professionals that I can get you that will help make that search easier. Oh, and then you call up the agent. Hey, I've got some great clients, blah, 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 yada, yada. They're going to be in Colorado next week. They want to go through Denver and so on and so forth. You just made 25% referral fee for doing nothing but making a phone call and giving a name. If you don't know anybody in Colorado, pick up the phone, look at the Keller Williams websites, whatever, ask some people in the marketplace, say, hey, can I have a couple, 2 or 3 names? And then that agent will call, and a good agent will vet you. How many transactions have you done? Oh, I'm brand new, but I'm a freaking go-getter, and I will make sure blah, 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 blah. But you get referral fees. Okay, page 32. Delivering a 10+ experience. I'd like for you to have a great experience selling your home, and that begins with me being very clear on what your expectations are. So I'd like to ask about that. Is that okay? Ask a question on the page and allow plenty of time to answer. Thank you for your honesty.
Are we supposed to ask them the questions in front of them? Or
Yes.
is it things you're memorizing?
Nope. Well, on page 33 are some questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not so desirable and 10 being extremely desirable, what's the one thing that has to happen in this transaction for your experience to be a 10? And they'll tell you, right? I want to be communicated with. Okay, perfect. How often do you want, why is that important to you? Well, because I'm a control freak, and I need to know what's going on with my house. Perfect. How often do you want that? I want it twice a day. How would you like it? Email, text, phone call, fax, newspaper, whatever, right? You're finding out that information. The only way you can deliver above expectations is to know what the expectations are. Otherwise, you're going to fall short. That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, page 34. Why are you picking Keller Williams? Why would somebody pick Keller Williams versus another agency.
Well-known brand.
What, what?
Well-known brand.
A well-known brand.
Yes.
You guys think
Well-
Keller Williams is well-known?
I think our technology is like first rate in the real estate community, that it allows them to, we can go through the process with them. What do you call it? In Command, they have that, process, it's eluding me right now.
Okay,
But it's basically step by step where you can see where you are in the process of selling your home.
correct. Right, so
Yeah.
they're communicated with completely, right?
Yeah.
What would be important to the client?
Reliability, honesty.
I don't know, what would you have to do to find out? Ask them, right? Okay, Pop. You have to ask them, right? It's, why would you work with Keller Williams? Oh, I don't know. We are the #1 brokerage in the world from an agent count, from a unit count, and a volume count. Nobody's bigger than us. Right? Another reason is that when you work with a Keller agent, Williams agent, we have things called profit sharing. So it incentivizes us as other agents to help bring buyers to our own properties. Because when we succeed, everybody succeeds. Because we are entrepreneurial in our business. We aren't working for Caldwell Banker. We aren't working for Century 21, which all of those agents are branding their information. We're branding us. It's my business. So I'm building a local business to feed back to the local community. I've met people that are like, okay, I gotta ask you, I've never heard of Keller Williams. I'm like, what? There's a reason they've never heard of Keller Williams, it's because we don't market. None of the dollars that you give to the brokerage or to Keller Williams, meaning Tri-Valley or the Big Boss, goes to marketing. Have you ever seen a Super Bowl ad for Keller Williams?
No.
Have you ever seen any ads for Keller Williams? It's because we don't market it. There's no need to market. Word of mouth, referral business is how we work. So there's no need to do that. So while everybody else is fighting over trying to get a listing presentation and just trying to get something sold, we as a collaborative team of almost 200,000 agents, or maybe more than that, globally are trying to help each other sell everybody's house. Huge points. Look at this. Page 35, because of our reliability, because of our track record, because of our knowledge. Right? Catherine mentioned training. It was right there.
I should get a cake offer for that.
Technology, teamwork. I mean, we covered all this. Whenever you meet someone new and you get their information, there should be a couple things that just follow right away. And one of those is, I've got a really cool app that will help you with your home search, just as if you're buying. Or for that matter, they could be sellers also. You're like, hey, I got a really cool app if you're driving around the neighborhood. And you're like, I wonder what that house is selling for. Click, there you go. You know what it's selling for. Send them the app. It gets them involved when they're looking at houses and they see something they like. Guess what they do? Share with agent. And you get a text message that comes over and says, they're looking at this house. Page 38, what you get from me. What you get from me is the following. What are you going to put in there? Does it say? Can you cheat and read? Quickly cover your professionalism and expertise that you provide. Highlight categories listed on this page. Meaning communication, experience and expertise, marketing, pricing strategies, things like that from page 39. Your needs always come first. Page 40. More tells, right? With my technology, we can conduct the entire real estate transaction, as Catherine mentioned, on command. They can see exactly where they are and exactly what the next steps are going to be. All of our paperwork is online. No more wet signatures until the day of signing. You get technology, you get staging, you get satisfaction. If you haven't listed property yet, how are you going to base what service fee you are going to charge to your clients? what are you paying for? So what are you gonna, and it's kind of a rhetorical question, but what are you gonna pay for? Are you gonna pay for photography, for staging, for window cleaning, for house cleaning, for yard maintenance? Things like that? I don't know. But it will help you justify your fee at the end of the day. If you're gonna charge 5%, that's 25 grand on $1 million house. Well, I can tell you staging for $1 million house is probably gonna be around 4 grand, 4,500 bucks. So now you're down to 21,000. Now let's make it 20. Oh, I forgot taxes. Take half of the 25,000. You're down to 13,000 now before tax or after taxes. So now take your 4 grand off. You're down to 9,000. Now you got to pay a photographer 150 bucks. You got to pay to have the house cleaned, 400 bucks. You got to pay to have the windows cleaned, 200 bucks. All that stuff adds up, and you better know where your costs are going, what your overhead is. Typically, if you put 40% to the bottom line, you're doing pretty well, but you can do better. And that'll be just justified on how you justify your fees with your clients and your value. That make sense? Questions on that? Because if you haven't listed a property, you're like, holy crap, I didn't think about any of that. What if the property's vacant? And the seller says, well, who's gonna take care of my yard? I live in Chicago now. Okay,
And for lighting or electricity, water.
yeah, right? You're gonna have that on while we're doing this. Generally, home improvements are at the seller's expense. So painting, flooring, roof inspections, home repairs, yard maintenance, pool maintenance, things like that fall under the homeowner expense, because it normally does, right? But you can vary what type of services you offer within your commission, such as staging, home cleaning, photography. And you can create a menu. You can have multiple sources. Hey, I've got a 4% commission, means you're only paying 1.5%, because you get a 2.5% to the buyer's agent, right? And I'm gonna put a sign in your ground and take some pictures and make a flyer. That's it. At 5%, I'm gonna do all that, plus I'm gonna stage the house and clean it, and I'll have 2 open houses. And at 6%, I'm at your beck and call, whatever you want me to do. Not only will I do all the cleaning and everything, so you can create menus to help your clients decide. And then once you get X number of transactions, you can show the value of each stage. Or you can just say, oh, 6%. This is what it includes. Nobody's told me no yet. It's all about how you prep it to the client, right? 43, the home selling process. I'm committed to sell your home for the most money, shortest period of time, the least amount of stress. I prepared competitive pricing information, provide a step-by-step process for not only preparing your home for sale, but then selling it. When I've earned your business and we agree to move forward with an agreement to hire me to assist in the sale of your home, we move into the next 3 phases. Servicing and marketing, offers and negotiations, and contract to close. So that's where your value comes in and what you provide. On page 44, a smooth closing. If they sold the home, may have been a while, so let's look at what the expectations are. On page 45, you can see some of those. You can go to your title company, like in here it's saying, sellers commonly pay for their mortgage balance and prepayment penalties, claims against the property, such as unpaid property taxes, or what else? Liens, right? This is why you run pre-title. This is why you get, when you open up pre-escrow and you get that pre-title, you can see what's going on. Did they forget to, they didn't want to pay the pool guy after they put in the pool because they failed to put in the right color rocks? So there's a $25,000 mechanics lien against the house. Guess what? They're paying it off. So to have that conversation and know it up front is a good thing. Commissions, legal fees, titles, title insurance. And then after closing, they get all the documents and everything else. A closing appointment. That's where you're getting keys, garage door openers, all that kind of good stuff. where it says sellers commonly pay, check your, with your title company, because they will have a list by county of what is standard. So standard buying contract is seller pays for HOA, seller pays county transfer tax, seller pays title, they split escrow, buyer pays for whatever, you know, the list goes on. Title actually has a list by county of what the standard or what typically happens in this area. And it doesn't really change so much from Livermore, Pleasanton, Dublin, but if you start getting into Walnut Creek, Contra Costa, and some other places, it may change a little bit. And I know it changes when you go down to Southern Cal, where they don't have an escrow. Their escrow and title companies are separate entities. We're really lucky that we have single entities. Page 46, it's important to point out the 3 things that make a difference between getting the home sold and having it sit on the market with little attention. All 3 can be handled strategically to get the job done quickly. Right? Location and condition are the first things that attract buyers and their agents, and you can't change it. You can only change the condition. So be aware. What are the 3 things we look at for condition? Curb appeal,
Flooring.
paint and flooring, cake pop, cake pop, cake pop.
I'll do that then.
What's that?
All 3 of us back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should
Yeah,
be teams.
I heard 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I heard curb appeal.
Paint, flooring.
You said paint.
Flooring.
She said flooring.
I think that's
Right? Those are the 3 quickest things you can do to help get the home sold. Page 47, the 3 factors getting it sold is condition, marketing, and price. Oh, they're so good. I just eat them in one bite.
The red velvet too.
Are they red velvet?
We've got red velvet.
Well, they're probably all red velvet then. Yeah, if you got a crappy house and you're competing against really nice houses, your price point is gonna be a little tougher, right? Because I won't say a lot of people, but some people find it tough to get a vision past what the current condition looks like. So the better condition you can get the home in, the better chance you have of selling it.
How do you tell them that their home looks like crap?
You don't, right? How would you guys tell somebody their home looks like crap?
Show them the comparable homes that have sold, the price. And
Okay?
and I don't know, like, you know, like in relation to this house that sold for X amount, like, you know, the condition that your house is in, like, how do you feel, like, where you fall in?
Yep. You know what? We got a bunch of scrapes and marks on the wall here. That's not a big deal. We can touch up that wall, right? I can have my painter come and give us a quote, but we need to paint that wall to get rid of that. Or there's a lime green wall. Let's pick what's a really annoying color. How about bright orange? I don't know. Some of you may like bright orange, right? But you walk in a house and you're like, whoo! What are we doing with that aqua blue wall? Right? It's like, I know you really like that. Maybe it has religious connotations for you, but man, if you want to sell the house, we ought to paint that gray. Right? Let's tone it down and make it not plain, but make it nice. Right? But you're not going to say any of those things. You're just going to walk around and point things out, right? How long has this carpet been here? Oh yeah, we just had it cleaned, but it's getting kind of old. Okay. Well, what's your budget look like for selling the house? Do you have a budget? I don't have a budget. Well, I gotta tell you, we really need to replace this carpet. So I'll tell you what, let me call my flooring people. I'll have them come give us a couple quotes. We'll review those. But I think I can probably get that paid through escrow, so you don't have any money coming out of pocket. But they'll take their money once we close escrow. Would that be something you'd be willing to do? Okay, perfect.
But we need to pay.
You don't pay.
first.
You talk to your vendors. The house I close on tomorrow, Brothers Inspections did the termite and did the termite work and did subsequent termite inspections. And I just asked Cody, I was like, and he knows my seller also, I was like, they don't have the cash to fork this out right now. Can we pay you through escrow? He's like, yeah, not a big deal. And they'll know. If you take them to a rundown piece of crap and you're asking $100,000 over asking, they'll say, no, you're not paying that through escrow. Right? But they know you, they know the market, and they'll say, yeah, this is, okay.
So when you say pay through escrow, is there like a legal obligation, or is that like?
Yep, yeah.
So yeah. Like
So you're gonna
how
get
does
the
that
quote,
work?
they're gonna sign the quote to do the work,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna sign another piece of paper, a legal document,
Mhm.
typically an addendum,
Mhm.
that you're gonna send to them that says, seller agrees to pay contract flooring $2,473 at close of escrow. And they sign that, so they signed the quote to do the work at $2,473. We got a bill at $2,473, and we have an addendum at $2,473. Escrow puts it in as not a lien, right, but as a cost for doing the business. The seller's happy because they have fresh looking floors and it shows better. You sell the house more quickly for more money in a shorter period of time with the least amount of stress, and everybody's happy. And now instead of forking out $2,743, it's kind of like they don't miss it. Right? It's kind of like a W-2 check and they take out, medical benefits. You don't see it until it's $7,000. You're like, my God, how much am I paying for medical every month? But it's not in your net, so you don't care. So it won't be in their net. You're just going to say, hey, it's going to affect your net by $2,743. But having the relationships with those B2B partners will help that conversation, right? If you don't know anybody, then I don't know. Are you going to fork out the $2,800? Do you have $2,800 to put the new flooring in? I don't know. Would you do it? I don't know.
Have you ever done it?
I've done it. I got my money. I'm confident that I'm going to sell the house. The seller was confident that we were going to sell the house. They didn't have the money. I said, listen, I'll cover it. Because my vendor did not cover it. Not a good habit, right? You want to work with their money, not your money. But I've done things that I use my money to get deals done. Whether it's a commission or whether it's money up front. But I tend to stay away from the money up front. Make sense? Everybody with me still?
Yep.
Okay. Page 49. Oh my gosh, where does the first impression begin?
Outside.
Cake pop!
Woohoo!
Right? What's the first thing I said when I'd walk up? It was curb appeal, right?
Yep.
What's the first thing they have listed there? Unbelievable. It's like we're on the same page. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Grass freshly cut, yard cut. I mean, just, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to look at this. If you walk up to the front of the house and it looks like crap, then everybody else is going to think it looks like crap. Spend some time and a little bit of cash and get that stuff cleaned up so it looks presentable. Okay? And this is what you're walking your client through, right? This is how they're going to get more money. Interior, bright and light. Oh my God, what's number one on interior? Cake pop. What's the second thing I said when we walked through the house?
Carpet. Flooring.
Right, it's like I'm checking out the paint.
Just reading that.
Right? Is carpet and flooring on that same thing?
Shampoo carpets. Scrub floors.
Right? Now that can be tricky. Shampooing carpets versus replacing carpets. The house I had in Pleasanton X months ago, the carpet wasn't that horrid. It was okay. It was kind of a beigeish generic color. The stairs looked like herds of elephants had been up and down it. Right? It was just complete, because everybody's wearing their shoes in the house. They run up the carpet and there's 6 stairs up and another 6 stairs after the landing. And of course it's all brown. And you could scrub that thing for days and you're not going to get the dirt out of it, right? It was just worn, it'd been there for, I don't know, a decade or more. So we had to replace the stair carpet. And so we're having that conversation with the seller. So we asked them. I didn't tell them, I asked them. Listen, if we had new carpet on the stairs, it's obviously gonna help, because when you walk in the door, here, and the stairs were right there, and it wasn't even that far away. So it's like the first thing you saw, and then you looked over at the kitchen and the living room. And I'm like, first impression, I said, we need to do that. Would you agree? Anchoring question. Would you agree? Did I get their acceptance? And they said, yeah, you're right. That looks pretty bad. I said, well, here's my challenge. If I replace the carpet on the stairs, I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to match that at the top of the landing so that it's kind of seamless with the rest of the carpet upstairs. Now, I know the upstairs carpet isn't that bad. We could probably get away with a nice deep cleaning. But in the grand scheme of things, the stairs are gonna be the most expensive thing to replace on the carpet anyway. So how about if I get a quote to replace all the carpet, and then we make a decision from there? Sounds great, Lloyd. Tell us what you think. Is that gonna get us our money back? Are we gonna get $2,700 back out? Yeah, you're gonna get $2,700 back out of it. Okay, let's take a look. Couple quotes, they agree, signed to escrow, and away we go. So you can politely tell people what you think should happen to the home. And then, well, if you were my certified open home specialist class today, you learned all about showings for buyers, turning on the lights, opening the window coverings in the daytime, playing background music. Betty had mentioned that earlier.
We don't talk about temperature.
It didn't talk about temperature, right?
No.
And I love temperature. So, yeah, that's a whole nother class, right? But those kinds of things are important. You want it to be comfortable in the house, but oh my God, 65 degrees on a 95-degree day sounds okay until the sellers get the electric bill and then they're wondering what's going on. So maybe 74, 72 is more appropriate. Is it owner occupied? Is it vacant? All those kinds of things. Page 50, your marketing. Let's walk through my 14-step marketing plan that's designed to attract buyers more quickly. Page 51 walks you through all of that. Be cognizant and aware. We have 2 minutes. No, we're a half an hour over, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay. So let's just, I think we're pretty much towards the end. Marketing your house, this is what you're going to do. Again, as I said a bunch of times, don't let your minimums become your maximums. If there's other things you do to provide value, then do it. Page 53, another reason to use Keller Williams as the Global Explorer exposure. 155 plus websites translated into different languages, all that kind of stuff. Page 55, we talked about pricing to sell. It's determined by the market. Who determines the price of a house?
Buyers.
Thank you. Cake pop. Otherwise, I gotta take them home and I will eat all of them. The buyers determine the price, right? The sellers can set it, but if nobody buys it, then they didn't price it right. Right? So the buyers set it. Important conversation to have with the sellers, right? Okay, I know what you want. That doesn't mean you're going to get it. CMAs, we talked about CMAs. A good CMA will help you with pricing. A great CMA will help your clients understand how to price it. Page 59, recommending a price for your home. Are we going to recommend a price for the home?
No.
Cake pop. We're not. We're going to ask them what they think the value of the home is and then work through our CMA and our Bay East statistics to show them where it may go.
What do you mean with Bay East statistics? Is there like something that we can use on that website?
So in Bay East, you can go into the individual housing market statistics and click on a city. Livermore, Pleasanton, all of them are in there. When you click on that, you can go to housing statistics, and it will tell you, if you haven't been into Bay East, you can kill 3 or 4 hours just learning real estate in there. In that housing market statistic, it will tell you the number of homes that are available, and they separate them by condo townhome and then single family. I think it's called an attached report and a detached report.
Okay.
The detached report is basically single family. The attached report would be duets, condos, townhomes, apartment homes, things like that. And you can print them for your specific listing. So if you have a townhome, you can print the attached. And if you have a detached, you can print that one. And the information in there is crazy. It's trending for the last 12 months of average sales price, average list price, average list price to sales price ratio, which is, hey, I sell for 103% for my listings. The average agent here in Bay East sells for 99.8%. So I understand you'd like me to go to 5% commission, but let me ask you, is your bottom line more important than what you're going to invest in a professional realtor? Because if it is, and I'm making 4% more than the average realtor, that means really I'm putting 3% more in your pocket. So does that sound appealing, or would you rather use a discount realtor? Of course, right? So Bay East, those are good statistics to back up what you're doing. Average days on market. Oh my gosh, they have everything in there. Good place to go. Make a note. Page 61, the listing agreement. Has anybody even looked at a listing agreement before? 3, 4, 5? Everybody? Okay, good. If you have questions, you can go to your mentor or write a listing agreement. Sell my house. There's nothing preventing you from going into CAR, creating a residential listing agreement or a residential buying agreement and purchase agreement, and coming to me and say, hey, did I do this right? I'll be happy to look at it. Seller's disclosures. There's two main reasons that realtors go in front of the board of realtors. One is double ending, because they're lacking the fiduciary responsibility to both parties. And number 2 is disclosures, failing to disclose material facts about the house. And you can't just stick your head in the ground if you're sitting out back of the kitchen and you're watching it rain and you're watching the mud come down the hill over the cement and into the pool, and the pool's brown. You can't say, I don't know why the pool's brown. I don't know. Sellers, do you know why the pool's brown? No, we put that retaining wall up last year. Oh, seems to be doing the trick. Right? You have to ask them that, right? I think you've got some mud issues coming down the hill. We're going to need to disclose that. Because people are going to ask, when it's sunny, why is the pool brown? Oh, you can't just go, I don't know. Hell, even if it's sunny, you can look out back and go, well, there's a 15-foot, 45-degree vertical wall of mud that's now dirt. It stands to reason that if it gets wet, the dirt's going to come down and go into the pool. So don't bury your head if you see something like that. What to expect next. This is a good checklist. You can, again, develop your own, because not only are you going to do the sign, the lockbox, the posting, the consultation, photos, flyers, open house, you're going to put in window cleaning, photography, that's in there. You're going to have a bunch of items that you're going to do. Do they want to do it or not want to do it? It's okay for them to not want to do something. Moving checklist on page 67 is just nice to have. It's another nice feature providing your value. Okay, we're not getting into 2 groups because obviously this took a little while. And they said 40 minutes. Okay, so for next week, Mayor is not here, but he's the big dog. He's going with 50, so
Yeah.
70, 76, 89. 89 contacts going into our database. Make sure you're reading ahead into number 5, which is price to sell with your CMA. So I actually have a CMA class tomorrow. We'll put you ahead of the game. Is it at 10? Were you the one asking?
No, it wasn't me.
We were talking about the Bay East CMA.
Okay. 10 to 11:30 tomorrow. I have a CMA class right here. So I'll be doing nothing but CMAs, how to build them, how to do them, all that kind of stuff. So bring your laptop, do your thing. We'll put it all together. Make sure you're doing your 10 4s, right? So you're making your 10 calls, your 10 notes, your 10 house visited, all that kind of good stuff. It's your business. If you don't wanna do it, I know where your business is going, so, right? I'm just here to provide a little motivation. And then, prepare your call list for next week. We're gonna do we'll always do the calls in class. Make sure you have your note cards, third week,
Got 'em.
right? So have your note cards, your stamps and everything else, and get ready to go. And if you have questions about the listing presentation or want more information, whatever, feel free to reach out to me or your mentor, or for that matter. I would walk into people's offices as I walked around Livermore and Pleasanton, and people like Chris and everybody else who's actually in their office are more than happy to answer questions and help you and tell you how they've been successful doing it. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, if you didn't get a paid pop, I'm just going to randomly give you a paid pop. Because I can't eat, well, I can eat all 10 of these.
I'll take
Okay,
one.
who else do you got? Yeah, how many kids you got? And a
Three.
wife.
So, there we go.
Do you want, you can have one too.
Oh, appreciate it.
You got dessert for everybody.
Yeah.
That's it.
Call for your wife.
What's your wife's name again?
Her name is Deb. Deborah.
Deborah.
D-E-B-R-A. Right, K-Top?
Two of those for the kids.
The
kids.
I didn't.
Wait, he
It
must
must have
answer
just
a
ended.
question.
I'll take one if you got an extra.
Lost connection.
There you go.
Who knows how long.
Thank you, I have a cake.
You good?
Technology, man.
K-Pop?